All right. So, what we're doing today is Hammer Time, a deck that we visited back in 2019, back when it was strictly red and white, and you didn't have these great cards. Well, actually, you had a good amount of these cards already. And so, that's pretty much a lie. You just didn't have the Urza sagas, and you couldn't really be mono white. You needed the splash, and the red was so that way you could do magnetic theft to try to cheese them a bit. Other than that, hammer time's hammer time. The idea is it's a combo deck where you're trying to land a colossus hammer, which is equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying, onto one of your creatures really quickly, ideally on turn 2. And you flash it in using Sigarda's Aid. So Sigarda's Aid, you get to your equipments have flash, and then when they enter the battlefield, you get to equip it. You have Esper Sentinel here to draw you some more cards. You have Giver of Runes. That's nice. Yes, I wanted this. You have Giver of Runes as protection. You have Sigarda's Aid as your main flash piece. You have one of Steel Shaper's Gift, and then 3 Springleaf Drum to tap for mana. Then you have 4 Ornithopter, 4 Memnite, and 4 Inkmoth Nexus, 4 Saga, and then 6 redraw effects off of the clearing and canopies, and then just the rest are lands. Then you have Stoneforge Mystic, which is how you're going to go searching. You reveal it. So these are basically Steel Shapers 2 through 5. Technically, it's really Steel Shapers is Stoneforge number 5. The reason that you run Stoneforge over Steel Shapers is so that way you have a body to attach things to, because they really can't let you keep a creature around. You have a 1 of Shadow Spear here, so you can give your creatures lifelink and trample. Because if a 10/10 wasn't hard enough to deal with, an 11/11 with lifelink and trample might present a problem for some decks. And then to top it off, you've got the good old Pure Steel Paladin, a great favorite of mine back when Cheerios was a thing, because of the ETB draw card. The actual reason you're running it in this list is for the Metalcraft, because that way you can equip your hammers, which typically have an equip cost of 8, will have an equip cost of 0. Pretty sweet in terms of the main board. On the sideboard, what we've got going on is you've got 2 paths, 2 endings. Endings typically going to be on 1 or 2. You can technically get it to 3, but I don't think that's going to come up too much. 4 Sanctifier Infects. Needless to say, rest in peace on a body that gets to dodge black and red, meaning they have to be in white for 1 mana removal. Pretty good. Other than that, you've got Seal of Cleansing if they have that good old card like Chalice of the Void, because Chalice on 1's a thing. And then you've got the Luris because everything's less than 2 mana in this deck. A Pithing Needle, so that way you can name pesky planeswalkers or whatnot. This one's interesting. The Manric Gusari. This is mainly for if you're expecting the mirror, because this way you can destroy their equipment with your creature. It's not a terrible card. I'm not expecting we're going to run into the mirror, but we're running this list as is, and this list did well in a challenge. And in a challenge, I would expect to run into the mirror, so I can definitely see bringing it in. And then you have Void Mirrors for E-Tron or Cascade or Tron. I really don't think that your Tron or E-Tron matchups are that bad, so it's mainly for the Cascade type decks, because I'm sure that's probably not a fun matchup. That being said, I will see you guys in the league here, and let's see how we can do with it. Okie doke, we did not win the die roll, but we do want to reveal this Luris as soon as it gives us the option. There we go. So I see aid, I see a ink moth, and I see a stone forge. It's a bit on the slow side, but this has potential. Raw Bauble, no Luris, makes me think blue-red Murktide. Arid Mesa Pass. And drop the aid. And drop a Mimnite, drop a Mimnite. They fetch. They... Okay. Stomping Ground. I'm completely thrown for a loop. Verdant there. We will begin combat. Make it look like we've got hammer. Nope. Alright. That. Stoneforge. Let's say yes. Go grab ourselves a Colossus hammer here. Pass the turn. They fetch. Surprising no one. Is this Ponza? If this is Ponza, we're in great... Well, no, because they have destroy target artifact. Can't be regenerated. Okay, Goyf is fine. Second hammer, I'm pretty sure just kills them. Like Goyf blocks one of these. Neat. Colossus hammer. Sigarda's 8 on the Mimnite. They fetch. Bolt. I'm assuming is their game plan here. Unholy Heat. Cool. I'm gonna flash in a Colossus hammer. And we're gonna keep my Memnite alive that you're trying to kill here. Alright. So, Pro Red. We didn't see much from them. All that we saw was Goyf and Unholy Heat. That makes me think that they're a graveyard style deck. I like the Sanctifiers. I really don't know how to sideboard with this deck. Springleaf seems mediocre at best. So we'll take those out. We'll shave a Paladin. And we'll shave 2. I don't know. Paladin's one of our main equip conditions. Shave a Giver. Shave the Steel Shapers. There we go. We're not bringing in anything like ending or path at the moment. I don't think it's needed. Out of sideboard, put some cards in, take some cards out. This step is optional. Yeah, sounds about right. Opponent's probably taking the play here. So all we saw from them was red and green. So if they're like a Ren and 6 style deck, we might be in trouble here. So we've got a Sanctifier, a Saga, Memnites, we're gonna go ahead and ship this hand. It's a bit... It's borderline here. Because of the double white pip and not having another way to produce white. I don't like it. Okay. Hand's interesting. Tempting enough to keep. We'll keep and bottom an aid. And hope they're not a Thoughtseize deck. Considering how we didn't see black initially, I don't think they are. Sure, they bubble us. And Bobble showed them a Memnite. Neat. So next turn here is going to be Giver of Runes and Hammer. Yes. Giver. Actually, no Hammer. Because we can just Ink Moth next turn for lethal. Because, yeah, they could, like, pillage the hammer. We're fine if that's their game plan. Engineered explosives on 1. And pop an engineered. Go ahead and boot up the Ink Moth. Cool. Turn both of these guys sideways. No hammer? I guess it makes sense. They're waiting for us to drop the hammer. And we're just not going to. Because if they do this... Cool. We're fine with that. We lose the aid. That's fine. And play out the Ornithopter. Put Luris to hand. Swing for 1. We're a land away. Yeah, it makes sense. They didn't want to trade their 1/1 here. And so what? Do they have Grafdigger's Cage? They make a construct. They go get a 1 or 0. Spell Bomb. Okay. Spell Bomb doesn't really do what you want it to here. Palababble. Well, no. Hammer first. Cast the Paladin. And so, like, they either shoot one of these, and we can't hammer. Okay, that's fine. We can't hammer for a turn. Sadness. Shadow Spear, sure. Shadow Spear, suit up. Okay, turning sideways tells me that you've got something. I'm still gonna just take 6. Because Whatever you have has to be pretty damn good for you to be that confident in it. Okay, they're fetching. I'd like to equip for 0 and save targets. Okay. Swing bada bada. What you got? Pillage? Ancient Grudge, destroying target artifact. And they're destroying the Ink Moth. Okay, sure. Ink Moth gets destroyed. Stoneforge comes in. Stoneforge is gonna go and grab ourselves, I guess, Shadow Spear here. I'm paying costs. I'm flashing back on the... Okay. Engineered on 2. Hits us for 6. If you know we weren't going to be blocking. Lose them both. And then they have DRC and EE on 2. We draw exactly what we wanted there. We play out Alaris. Grab ourselves an aid. And now you're bolting the Alaris? Sure. And that is death. Alright. Game 3 it is. So they're red-green. As far as I can tell, they're just red-green stuff. Nothing really revealing there. Sanctifier seems fine. All their removals red. Esper Sentinel seems fine. Giver seems fine. We didn't really learn anything new about their deck. I mean, I guess we can bring in Seal of Cleansing. I feel that's probably overboarding. I like Needle. Needle to name their annoying card. I'm trying to think of the name, but it's blanking on me. Pitch 2 Stone Forges here. Bring back in the Giver. Engineered Explosives. Would love to take the play. I would also love to reveal Laris. And it doesn't do much. This we keep on the backs of hoping this Esper Sentinel can draw us enough cards. It's probably incredibly incorrect to do this, by the way. Dragon Rage Channeler comes down. Okay. Well, that's not a terrible card. This, tap for a white. Play out a hammer just to cast a hammer. Have it sit on the field. Opponent gets in for 1, just short. Down to 19 we go. And they pass the turn, huh? The force of vigor. Well, I would like to float a white, just because I can. Force of vigor, pitching Renin 6. So it's probably red-green Saga. Can't do anything with the mana. Ouch. Has to be the Urza's Saga. Land coming in just a turn late. Second Dragon Rage. And then Alpine Moon. Fantastic. At name Saga. Saga goes bye-bye. And we cry as we're apparently never sticking a Sanctifier. We kept a hand and get punished for the hand that we kept. Gotta love it. Sentinel, pass turn. All right. So a loss here, not to the deck. Or not to the deck's fault, to pilot error. I'm assuming that they're trying to grow. All that they can find is artifacts and whatnot. That 1 damage gets rid of our S per Sentinel and hits us for 2. Yep. Sanctifier would be real nice. There we go. Can finally land a Sanctifier. We have our pro-red, pro-black creature. Meaning we're a couple turns away. They do foothills, shenanigans. This happens. Spell bomb. Yeah, because that's not red. They have to attack. We take 6 down to 10. And I'm assuming this spell bomb goes straight at this Sanctifier. Pure Steel comes down. I just need to draw a card here. Yeah, they blow up our Sanctifier. Makes sense, makes sense. We're basically hoping that they don't have another Alpine Moon. Yes, I would love to use Pure Steel's ability. There we go. Memnite. Unholy Heat's the Paladin. All right. So they had it. All the removal in the world that they needed with that Force of Vigor. We take 6, go down to 4. We need even Pure Steel off the top. No, Pure Steel off the top does it barely. If they don't have anything. Okay. They pinged us. They have the bolt? Okay. Neat. Okay. So, facing red, green, Saga stuff, and then we weren't going to get there anyway. Cool. 0-1 to start. Go ahead and reveal Luris. So, like, this hand does nothing but triple Sentinel. I just want to see how good Sentinel is here. Flooded Strand passes turn. Well, there's an aid. So now we just need to draw planes. They fetch. Hmm. Okay, they get a Triome. They get Sultai Triome. Interesting. Okay, so this is domain. Meaning this hand's probably not great because there's a 4/4. And we're not gonna draw Jack, apparently. That Inkmoth Nexus pass turn. Not swinging a 1/1 into a 4/4. Hmm. So they shock in. White, red, black, Marduk colors. General. Sounds good. And can't block it. It's got flying. Down to 16 we go. Wow, we cannot draw a colored source to save our life. Opponent needs to play a spell. We were counting on them playing a spell, and they didn't. So our hand became utter garbage. Okay. Bloodbraid Cascades. So this is a zoo. Yeah, this is just domain zoo, isn't it? Tribal Flames. We get to draw 3? We do get to draw 3. So we might have a chance here. Bloodbraid Cascades. So first strike, vigilance, trample. Let's go ahead and boot up the Inkmoth here. That's a 3/1 with first strike, but has hexproof for monocolor. That's first strike. Nope, I can't. Okay, so first strike, no point. We'll do this to shrink the dragon, and we go to 5. So that way we're not dead. Okay. Saga goes up. And play out the Saga. They're tapped out. So there's nothing stopping us at this point. Play out our hand here. Go to combat. Attack all. Let's see if opponent wants to block. They do. They block like so. Like 2 flash and a hammer. Hammer is going to go on that guy. Because hexproof is not protection. And then we die. Because trample. Dang it. It has tribal flames. Okay, well. Well, first let's see, do they pay? They don't pay that one. They don't pay that one. And we lose the tribal flames. Alright. So again, facing domain. Facing domain zoo. They don't really target our stuff. So we can take out the givers. Bring in paths and seals. No, we'll bring in paths and 2 sanctifier to replace the fact that we're getting some of our threats. Because a lot of their things are multicolor in red, other than the dragon. Love to play first. We will reveal the Lurus, and this time we will keep a much more aggressive hand. Blah, 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 blah. Nope. Okay. Keepable 5. Not great. But keep bottom the paladin, bottom a memnite. You're like so, and lead on ornithopter shadow spear. And just to have out the shadow spear, and then we have saga next turn into then make a 3/3, make a 4/4, grab something. Sentinels, real good. Buh. Do that, play that with the saga. No need to swing with the ornithopter. And then they crack their Misty, go grab a Triome. That'll enable them to do their turn 2 4/4. Let's see that. Sacred Foundry shocked in. Evoked a Fury, huh? Alright, going 2/1. What'd they pitch? A Manamorphose? Yeah. Makes sense. I guess, because here comes the dragon. Oh, just a 5/5 Kavu. This we draw. Saga will do saga things. We'll play out a land and pass the turn. We can take 5 once. There's the Scion. Yep. They can exile one card from our graveyard. Instead, they go discard, draw. So it has trample. We're not going to block with a 2/2. This, make a token. Okay, so we have a sentinel. Make ourselves a token. Do this. Grab a drum. Then we can tap for a white, play out the sentinel. We can take 9. We basically need 8 off the top here. No, we need pure steel off the top. Pure steel gets us out of this game. Else we're dead. Because we're staring down 9. Blue, green, white. Shardless cascades. What on earth? Cascades into chalice? Chalice on 0? Yeah, did you forget that happens? You gonna pay the 1? No, I get to draw. Neat. Shardless has hexproof and trample. And then they pitch their last card. They didn't attack with their Scion. Opponent countered his own deck. They're not a Cascade deck. My guess is that they're mainly running Shardless as a way to cascade into Tribal Flames. And then they just brought in the Chalice because Chalice isn't terrible against us. We'll go to 8 here. We know what we need off the top to win. Anything less than that and we lose. Saga. Interesting. No, they're not rhinos. They're Domain Zoo, where they basically try to utilize this 12 mana card that actually only costs 2 mana because you're playing 5 colors. And then it gives all of your stuff just random things. And play the Sanctifier. Exile all red cards. Tap, tap, equip. Try to gain us some life here. We have ourselves a 6/6 with lifelink and trample. Let's see if opponent wants to take 6 or trade their 2 cards. Looks like they're okay with us gaining some life here. They fetch down to 9. All right. They've got 1 card in hand. They've got a 6/6 with lifelink and trample. I feel we've turned this corner. Bloodstained, we can take 6. Well, we can block and block. Taking 7, going to 8. Not losing a single creature. And then Tribal Flames can only hit us for 5 meaning we'd be at 3. And then we make a 6/6. They swing with just the Kavu. They exile the Sentinel. Okay. To swing with just the Kavu, I would like... We're going to just block and take a little bit less. Because then we're at 10, they're at 8. They have to block our constructs or they die. Red, red, white, red, black, fury. Sure. You're hitting my Sentinel? That's all you can hit. Cool. The Sentinel gets hit, and then that has 3 damage marked on it. That's fun. Sigarda's Aid. Of course, we draw what we need there. Aid. Combat. Raw. Block how you want. See what my last card is. Blocks there. Blocks there. Blocks there. Hammer, baby. There we go. Let damage happen. We lose our Sanctifier. They lose the game. All right. So again, that domain zoo list. Void Mirror is a bit interesting now that we know that they run Fury. But I think we just do what we did. Sanctifier put in work. Kind of want to bring in the other 2. And cut like a Paladin and a Mystic. No, keeping the Mystic. Cut a Steel Shapers. Cut a Mystic, bring in Paladin. Let's be smart. Well, no, we saw targeted removal, so I like Giver now too. Bleh. Decisions. We'll bring in take out and take out a Paladin. Feels weird, but do this. Reveal that Luris. Hands got pretty good because we have Aid plus Ornithopter into Sentinel into Hammer. Triome tapped, passes the turn. You aid Horner Crop. Hope they don't have Force of Vigor. And there's the shock it in and have the 4/4 on turn 2 for the 3rd game. Because why wouldn't they? You know? Green, red. Yep, there's the Scion. So Sentinel's not great against them, I do have to say. Okay, well, this turn got a whole lot better with a Giver. Because we go Giver, we go Sentinel. And yes, we take 4 in the air, and then they're just about done for. Because we'll have a suited up Sentinel. And be able to protect it. They need removal, or Fury, and go 2/2. Then we only have the Sentinel. Force of Vigor hits Hammer. So I was right about them running Force of Vigor. I'm sad I was right about them running Force of Vigor. But this is fine. As we do this, we put Luris to hand. And we just go get the aid back. Yeah, we take 4. What'd they pitch to the Force? A Shardless Agent? Okay. Red, black, Tribal Flames. X damage to our Giver. Darn. Making me real sad you got rid of Luris, opponent. Bloodstained Mire, sure. The Scion does not have any of those fun effects, so we're gonna chump block. Play out the Inkmoth Nexus so that way we have a lethal. And do this. Grab the aid. Now you may kill my Luris. Okay. Luris gets to stick around. Meaning Inkmoth Nexus is a fun lethal route. They have 2 in hand. We've got a couple turns here. We don't have to go Inkmoth Nexus here, do we? They fetch to deck thin a bit. I don't necessarily know if this is what they want to be doing. I have no idea how this zoo deck plays, really. So, red. Assuming they want to try to kill my Luris here. Yep, they bolt the Luris. Makes sense. Now they've got a good amount of mana still available to them. And I'm pretty sure we have this. Because we Stoneforge, we search, we hammer. They try to do something, we hammer again. They have to have exactly 2 removal spells. Or force. And the Pure Steel backup seals the deal. Stoneforge. Do this, say yes. Get a hammer. Begin combat. Have the ornithopter go in. Blocks. Hammer. Is first hammer good? Yes, I would like to use Sigarda's ability. Second hammer. Going on there. Yes. What do we have, opponent? You have 3 mana. You're staring down 20. Force of Vigor on both hammers. Okay. So they had the force and they pitched the Manamorphose. Interesting. Guess it makes sense because we can't get the hammers back. And down to 8 we go. Play out the Paladin. Animate the Ink Moth. Show me Force of Vigor number 3. Do it. Hammer number 3. There we go. Say yes. And draw ourselves a card. Opponent concedes. They did not have force number 3. Good on them for having forces 1 and force 2. And then the bolt to get rid of our Loris. But, you know, sometimes hammer's gonna hammer. Huh. We'll try it. A Vile deck. So Merfolk makes me want to go Giver of Runes first. Silent Clearing, pay 1 life, add a white, and do it this way. Ornithopter Memnite. And this way we can give Pro Blue if they try to do shenanigans. Okay. They're kicking it and turning our Silent Clearing into a island. Fine by us. That means that we no longer have to take damage from that card. And the plains. Play out the plains. Play out the Sigarda's Aid. Swing with the Ornithopter in the air. After no blocks, try to pay 1 on the hammer. Sigarda's Aid the Ornithopter. Smack him for 10. Opponent's down to 9. Pass the turn. I mean, they can block. Okay. No, they really couldn't. All right. So facing Merfolk. Needle's fine. Ending's not bad. Path isn't bad. I don't think they're going to bring in any artifacts or enchantments as their hate pieces for us. What do they have that targets? I like getting rid of steel shapers and 2 givers to start. I'm trying to think. Most of their stuff is like tap down your things or make them 1/1s, which we're fine with. So is it just cut the givers? Yeah, let's try this. Bit land light on our side. Or not, a bit creature light on our side, but they don't exactly have a lot in terms of removal. This hand does a heck of a whole lot of nothing. As ending an interaction, we'll bottom a hammer. Island vial, sure. We're gonna ending that vial. Because you doing free things ain't okay. Well, now we're changing our game plan a bit here. Springleaf Drum, cast the Ornithopter. Tap, cast, hit that, do this. X is 0, but we cast with 1 color, so there goes their vial. Mutavault. Sounds good. Saga. Let's go ahead and go white, pure steel here. And just play out all of our threats. Paying costs, sure. Dismembers the paladin. That's a-okay with us. Okay, they do this. They hit the sog. What? I mean, I guess if you're trying to cut me off of white, that line makes sense. Do this. Do this. Exile that. And pass turn. Mararegery. Sure. Merfolk on slow mode ain't a threat to me in the slightest here. You this. Tap like so. Do bigger creature. We could grab anything here. Feel Shadow Sphere is what we want to grab. Because we do this and we play out of the drum. And smack for 6. You taking 10, opponent? You taking 6? Because we suit up. Sure. Untaps their island. They need a merfolk with flash. So they can tap down whatever Shadow Spear's equipped to. And then they chump block the other one. Sentinel, we play. Equip to one of these guys. And costs Hercule's recall. I would like to... We're going to lose these guys permanently, so we're going to go with floating a white. Do I get to draw a card? No. I do not get to draw a card. How sad, opponent. Play out a Springleaf Drum. We'll cast an Ornithopter. We'll tap for a white, and we'll play out an Esper Sentinel. Animates a Mutavault. And we don't exactly have a way to deal with their 2/2. And we're take... Yeah, we'll just take it for now. Because Hammer off the top is lethal. They just don't know that Hammer off the top is lethal. Saga, huh? Okay. Down to 6 we go. But that's fine. Quip. Tap that guy. We've got ourselves a lifelink trampler. This makes it so they don't want to swing with Mararegery. Okay, do this. Pass turn. It feels weird to trade. Yeah. You're gonna animate, then you're gonna combat, swing with just the Curse Catcher and the Mutavault. And we trade with the Curse Catcher here. So that way I get to gain 2, which is effectively taking 1. Hammer off the top. Plains. It's not a hammer. You tap like that, do this. We're at 5, which is awkward, but livable. They apparently can't draw a second blue source to save their life. There's a Mutavault, meaning they can animate both Mutavaults. And swing for 6. Ugh, I disagree with that, opponent. Because I was already planning on doing this. Then we're blocking there. Taking 2. Oh, no, we do take 3. Interesting. And let's do that. Grab ourselves an Ornithopter. And opponent's tapped out. We can just gain 7 here. I like a gain 7. Turn it sideways. 8-3. Pass the turn. Doesn't really matter what they do here. And there we go. So we were going to draw another aid, and then we were going to draw a clearing off that, and then we we're going to redraw for that and get planes. Okay. 2-1. All right, we won the die roll. We will gladly take the play here. Do that. Reveal ourselves Aluris. And let's see what we can do. Hand doesn't do anything. And does even less than nothing there. So keep 5 of these. Bottom Paladin and Drum. That aid Ornithopter pass. Hope they don't have the Thoughtseize or the Bolt. Is there a Luris deck? Alright. Fetch, Shock, Thoughtseize, get rid of the hammer. So not Thoughtseize, but still an Inquisition. Stoneforge. I wonder what the Stoneforge Mystic is gonna go grab. If only the world could know. This just forces them to have more hand disruption. Or 2 pieces of creature removal. How greedy were they with their keep? That's what our question here is. Croaks, that's a card. It makes us pitch the hammer. Land off the top, put Luris into hand. We want land. I was half joking, but sure. Luris goes to her hand. Land off the top means we have a hammer. At flash speed. They go to 13. Snow-covered mountain. Monkey dashed. Sure, you can have a dashed monkey. I'm not going to block it. Well, yeah, I'm not going to block it. Dashed monkey hits a paladin. Good luck casting that. The contemplation there was if we block with the Ornithopter, it then gives us something to cast with this Luris. Monkey gets dashed back to their hand. We draw a land? Nope. Okay. We'll play out Giver. They've got 3 card types in the yard. I dislike that. Because if it's an instant, we lose our card. Okay, they fetch. They're 1 card away from Kroxa. They go for the Kroxa, we have to draw. They go Expressive Iteration instead to turn on Dragon's Rage. No, it does not turn on Dragon's Rage. Because they have Sorcery, Land, and Creature. Inquisition of Kozilek entered the Exile Zone. Well, I wonder what they're gonna take. Let's go? No. We'll keep this. I guess they can only take the Luris. And then we just try to draw out of it. They do this. They hit for 3. It has to attack. Not gonna block. And now they... Monkey? No monkey. We draw ourselves a card. Unfortunate card to draw. That's not as bad, though. Yep. Saga will happen. Play out the Ornithopter. Could get in for 1. We'll get in for 1. I mean, this is obviously just cast Croxa, right? And then I have to deal with a 6/6. It makes me take 3 every time it attacks. Have to attack with that card. I don't know why you keep going back on that. I think you have an option. I could have blocked. I'm stupid. I need to remember what my cards do. We block with an Ornithopter. We give it pro red. We take 3 less damage there. We just took 3 damage for no reason. Or we'll argue the fact that they have removal in hand. That's what we'll say. Is the odds of them not having removal are so small that we wanted to keep our Ornithopter alive. So that way when we rip this hammer off the top, we get to still live. Croxa goes smash. We go to 8. Scalding Tarn is played. Darcy's no longer online. Stoneforge Mystic, huh? I mean, we go for it, right? We go Stoneforge, we go get the hammer. This is just game over unless they have the counter spell. Black, blue, drown in the lock. Yep. Drown, surveils. We take 6. Oh no, because we can block with an Ornithopter. So we take 3. Assuming that Croxa goes sideways, yep. We have to take 3. We move to blocks. Block there, block there. Say okay. Do this pro red. Pro red. They're at 5. Dragon Rage Channeler makes sense. Bonus at 6. We're at 5. We need to hammer off the top. That is 2 blockers. Also, it's not hammer off the top. So we draw Saga. So because we're not doing anything else, we're going to lose, which is unfortunate. Because this is make a dude. This is go get Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear enters. And we can give it to the construct. We take 3 damage. All happens at the same time. This ends up being ridiculously close. I mean, if they have a way to kill this construct, we lose. So I'm assuming this is swing with everybody. Yeah, forces me to block. I take 3 off the Croxa at 2. Block there, block there, block there. We have to block like that. Then we go here. Try to give pro red. Take the damage. We go to 3. Memnite. This is the 6. Opponents either got it or they don't. Swing for 6. Here we go. Got game 1 somehow. When they had double discard to hit both of our hammers. We got game 1. So this is a matchup for Sanctifier if I've ever seen one. We like Sanctifier, we like Giver, we like Esper Sentinel. Steel Shapers can come out. We can cut some Paladins and cut some Stone Forges. Path and Ending aren't terrible here. I feel that 8's probably arguably overboarding. But they do have a lot of 1-drops that we kind of need to deal with. Shave on a Stoneforge. We just shave the entire Stoneforge package? Stoneforge seems just kind of weak. So shave the entire Stoneforge package and then cut a drum? We'll try it. This seems wrong. I'm probably wrong. But hey. So we've got a Giver, we've got a Memnite, we've got a Hammer. We've got a redraw. Mulligan. Mulligan again. Keep bottoming in Ink Moth and an Ink Moth. And just have redraws and Saga and Aid. It's not a great hand, but it makes it so that way this Thoughtseize is awful. I mean, you take the Aid unless you're scared of Path. Plains pass. This they fetch. Steam Vents. Roxa happens. Triggers on the stack. Have that motherfucker. We'll take 3 once. Saga. And pass the turn. Why? I mean, I guess they're not a Saga deck, so it makes sense. They do that. There goes our Saga. Can't play out the other one. They're not going to do anything, so we're sitting on one land. Play out the Shadow Spear, play out a Silent Clearing, pass the turn. We've got a card that's just dead in hand until we draw Prismatic Ending. Thoughtseize, sure. You can take 2 damage. And I'm assuming this is probably at this point Death Shadow. Luris to hand, okay. A Memnite. And give me a 2/2. Unholy Heat. Okay. My Shadow Spear shall stay where it is. If you insist, opponent. There's nothing for your Luris to get here. You're just dropping Luris as a 3/2 body. Alright. Luris is a 3/2 body. Plains Luris to hand. I mean, they either have the discard or they don't at this point, right? So this will happen. We take 3. It's 12 all. EE on 0. Okay. You do you, opponent. EE on 0 sounds real nice. We'll play out Alaris. And then we'll cast the Memnite. You're going to bolt our Alaris after we cast the Memnite. Okay. And then we're going to blow up our EE. Yep. EE goes away. Recast EE on 0. I really don't think that's what you want to be doing. That hits 8 cards in my deck. I go to 8, you go to 15. We want to draw Sanctifier Infect off the top here. Instead, we're gonna draw a 0 drop. Need card draw. Springleaf Drum won't do it, but we'll play it out. We're sitting on dead cards. Scalding Tarn, fetched and shocked. Then you're gonna blow up the EE. Yep. Again, well, I mean, they can't really do it on 1. So they need it on 2. Or 0. This way, if we draw Paladin, we can suit up Paladin. Doesn't matter though, because they can just pop the E at the end of their turn and then replay it on 2. We don't have a way to give it haste. Bobble sees what we're drawing. Recasts Bobble. Plays Bobble. We go down to 2. And then they crack EE and place it on whatever we're about to draw. Okay. EE on 1. I mean, it makes sense because we can only play a 1 drop at this point or a 0 drop. And then that just covers all their bases. And they blow up on 0 and that's the game. Okay, they save with their bobble and then they blow up on 0. Guess we should have technically conceded to hide information. I still agree with what we did. We want the seals though, so we have ways to deal with Alpine Moon. As far as what we're taking out, I guess Memnites are just the weakest out of everything. I like Sentinel. I like Paladin. I like Sanctifier. Yeah, I like Giver. Would love to take the play. Reveal this Luris. Let's see just the nut 7. Little too land heavy. Same issue. Jesus. Not even a keepable 4? Down to 3 we go. I mean, we're keeping 3. Just keep a hand where we've got nothing. So, deck wants us to fight for a chest. Unfortunate. Fetch Shock Bolt. And then we get to draw a card. Dragon Rage. Okay, Sanctifier is pretty good if we can draw a land. Do you want to trade? You're going... Okay. Was not expecting the Darcy trade there. I guess if they have another Darcy. Man, I would have loved to have a keepable of those 7, 6, 5, or 4. Like, you can't keep a 5-lander in this deck. Nice. We're going to get demolished. Because we had to go down to 3. Oh well, welcome to Magic. Of course we draw the land for the Sanctifier the turn after. Of course. So our best draw off the top here is Sanctifier. A dash a monkey, sure. I'm gonna take this trade. They know what's on the top of my deck. I don't know. It's on the top of theirs, and they can blow this up at any point after this next turn. RC, that's fine. A Saga. Makes sense that they don't want me drawing that card. Because now they kind of need Alpine Moon to answer it. I'm sure that they have it, and they're just doing this to taunt us. What? What? There's a snow-covered mountain. You're a card short for being able to Croxa. Dot seizes us, and then they can't Croxa. Will turn on Dragon Rage, though. Bins? Okay. You do you, opponent. Also, 100% should have put Luris into hand last turn. And we don't get punished because they played a Thoughtseize. We just accidentally Giga Brain. Yep. And Darcy comes in. And that's a Croxa. Meaning we've got to deal with it pretty damn quick. I brought in Needle, right? No, I left Needle in the sideboard. Because I'm smart. We saw Engineered Explosives. I'm smart, and we left Needle in the sideboard. I'm just punting this game away, apparently. We do this. Make ourselves a 1/1. Seal of Cleansing. It's a fun one. Tap like that. Now we get to go get a card. It doesn't matter what we get because Engineered Explosives. Actually, they can't EE right now, can they? We brought in the seals for EE, but we didn't bring in... So we take 9 off this Dragon Rage, or 9 off this Croxa. And kill the DRC. Then try to find... Is there anything we can find? If they don't attack with the DRC, we just chump block. Save ourselves 6 life. Red, red, red. Thirst to hand? Yeah. We're at 10. Goes to 8. Alright. So we can play out blockers. We could take them to 4, but that's not enough. Again, we could put Lurus to hand. No. We need to save the ink moths. So this gives them 2. So they EE on 0, blow up the world, surveil. To get rid of my token. They liked the card though, which is disconcerting. There goes our construct. They attack. We go to 7. I would like to animate these things. You go ahead and just trade here. Because we're dead to the Croxa anyway. Trade happens. We draw. It's a redraw. Cool. So, Grixis Lurus. Don't know if that was dress down shadow or not. All right. 2-2 versus 2-2. Reveal ourselves the Lurus. I see an Drum, Memnite, Aid, Giver, Saga. This is a pretty keepable 7, in my opinion. Well, yes, we're not doing anything turn 1. Or we don't have any explosivity, I should say. Because we don't have a hammer. It does give us a creature with protection and then the aid next turn. Shocks in. Boundary. Yep. And so this is a Jeskai wears a list to the extreme. That's pretty good. Stone Forge. Forge will say yes. Grab ourselves a hammer. And we will get in for 2. There's nothing I'm really afraid of from them right now. Arguably, we can hold back the Giver so that way they have to bounce Giver if they have Teferi here. I don't necessarily know if a Jeskai Thopter list is going to be running Teferi. And I'd rather not have to place bets on whether or not they're doing that. Well, there's the Teferi. Goes down, bounces what? Memnite or bounces the saga? I could see bounce the saga, delay a turn. Bounces the drum. Okay. Interesting choice. Saga goes up to 2. Play aid. Problem is we can't play at instant speed. So hammer goes here. $11 at them. 1 at Teferi. Yeah. Teferi dies. They go to 4. They need it. There's nothing that they can grab, right? Talisman doesn't do it. Allows them to make a blocker, but we just give it... We can't give it pro colorless. It makes a blue Thopter. No, not a colorless Thopter. We're fine. Sometimes you gotta think. Endings the aid. Sure. Aid got ended. Gonna make a construct. We're gonna do this. I'd like to go searching. We do indeed get to search. We'll grab a shadow spear for later. I'll play out an ornithopter. Play out the silent clearing. And move to combat. Rah rah. Making a thopter? Yeah, they're making a thopter. And do this. And give it pro blue. Yep. Blue thopter. You're not even going to make sure that I know how this is supposed to work and I don't try to name colorless? You're just going to concede to that. Okay. So, seals, pretty good. Needle, pretty good. Ending's not awful. Allows us to exile. There's almost a case to bring in the Manariki. Because they are the Thopter sword. We can destroy the sword, and then it forces them to have another artifact. The problem is, if they're going Thopter sword, they're probably going infinite with Urza, so they probably have enough artifacts, although it has to be non-token. So it puts it in an interesting position. Either way. Sentinels don't feel great in this matchup. Cut a Steel Shaper. Cut a Giver. And a drum? Yeah, drum. I see a hand that has a lot of hammers. Hammer hands don't do a lot. Down to 5. It's just not quick enough. Keep this bottom of pure steel, bottom and Esper Sentinel. Pass. This allows us to go Sentinel, Memnite, Ornithopter. Arguably, it should have been keep the other Sentinel and bottom one of these other 0 drops. But we'll get punished for that later. Sentinel. Memnite. Ornithopter. Fast turn. They fetch. I'm assuming they brought in stuff like Force of Negation and all that jazz. Okay. Star. Do they pay for it? They pay for it. Cool. I don't exactly want to ending the star. So we're gonna give her here. And then we're gonna go to combat and swing for 2. I feel the main reason that you run the star is to draw off the Doctor Foundry. There's a Thopter Foundry, and I'm assuming you're gonna pay for it. Yes, they do. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Would you look at that? We drew exactly what we needed there. This green cast Thopter Foundry. Get exiled. Unless they have a Force of Negation here. Cool. No force. We're gonna hold the giver back. Not exactly like we're scared of anything, but the difference between 2 and 3 is minimal. Okay, here comes big old Urza. Or Urza. Yep, there's the Lord High Artificer. And a nice big old tutu. The tutu's what we're afraid of. Because that guy's just gonna grow unless we can stop it. Oh, wait. Looks like we have a card in hand that stops it. This Seal of Cleansing. Get rid of the construct. Just don't want that card growing. Swing with both the Sentinel and the Memnite. Assuming that Artificer is going to block 1, and then we're going to just give her whatever it's blocking. This Pro Blue. I'm just doing this to force getting in for 1. So they ending our giver, and then they're gonna pay a blue. Yeah. Makes sense. Doesn't really want us doing that shenanigans too much. So land here means we just put Luris into hand. Not land means we play whatever we hit. There's a Shadow Spear. We suiting it up to the Lord High Artificer? No, we're not. This Stone Forge. Stone Forge resolves. We'll go and grab. Has to be an equipment. No shenanigans for us. Yep. Nope. No shenanigans. We'll say yes and grab hammer. Just in case we draw the Sigarda's aid. Gotta equip the Shadow Spear. Yeah. Nobody can beat a 2-5 with lifelink. Honestly, I mean, Unholy Heat kills it. So. And trample. Yes, the trample is very relevant when it has 2 power. Okay, they cycle the star. So are things that didn't have hexproof no longer have hexproof? They play out the Thopter Foundry. I'm assuming we're going to draw here, and then they're going to play the sword up. Nope, they counter it. Now do they play sword and win? No, no sword. So we've still got a shot. We need 8 off the top and them to not have anything. Well, that ain't it. Plains Luris to hand. Hope that they don't have the what's it called? I don't know. What about Shroud? What about Shroud? This doesn't deal with Shroud. It's just hexproof and indestructible. If your stuff has Shroud, it'll have Shroud. We're on the hope that they don't have the sword in there too. Not good enough. Shadow Spear is terrible. Yep. So they're spinning with Urza here. Or is this a whir for 2? Whir for 2, pay for it. Okay. So they have to make 18 of them. And the loop works. Come on. Is he going to type it? There's 2. So these block. If you're gonna play a click fest deck, you gotta click. That's my rule of thumb for MTGO. So 18 is the number. Hasn't said anything yet. Just letting them eat through their clock. They lost. Okay, there we go. They lost connection for a second. So they're playing on not so great internet. Hmm. So there's 5. Now they're playing a lot faster. Makes me wonder if they had a script or something there. Why? Why are you spinning with Wurza? You can't play that on 0. I mean, apparently they're going to. They can't pop it. So that's 11. Portable hole. Cool. Again, a portable hole sentinel. Neat. So just waiting on opponent to make 18, and then we're conceding. Our opponent wants to show us more information, like they're running EE. All more power to them. 15, 16. 17. Interesting. They tapped one. Are they done showing us things? Cool. They're done showing us things. Thought maybe they're going to spin once more there. Path. Get in here. Take out a giver. Take out Memnite. I agree with everything else. Yes. We won the die roll. We will go take the play. Reveal the Luris. I don't see a way to cast the cards in the hand there. This is like the weirdest keep in the world. But just because it's a turn 1 aid, turn 2 paladin, and then suit up the paladin on turn 3. Cast the Memnite because we drew it. And drop the paladin. There's a saga, so they have blue and 1 available to them. Or white in one. Talisman of Progress. So Path is their scary card. Since Path is their scary card, we're going to try to hit these guys onto the Memnite. Pain costs, condemning. On the bottom, and then we gain... Sure, you can condemn it. Colossus Hammer. Yes. Shadow Spear. Yes. Hit you for 12. You're down to 7. Good luck, opponent. Do they have Teferi? Oh, they do have the Teferi. Nice. So they bounce a Memnite here. The sadness ensues. But we're okay with this. Because there's a couple draws. Saga's pretty good. We go Saga, we go Memnite. And we suit up our Memnite. So he's got Trample. Okay, they float 1, then they go get something. Has to be 0 or 1, so it's not great. That's a Spell Bomb, of course. Why wouldn't it be? Urza, yeah. Makes a construct, and then they have the Spell Bomb always. Well, not always. Plains pass. No need to swing our 2/2 into their 3/3. Until their next turn, they can do things as if it had flash. They play out the Thopter Foundry. Don't tell me you have sword. They're 1 artifact short. Portable holes. Non-land permanent with CMC 2 or less. I'm assuming that hits our Shadow Spear. Yep. Makes sense, makes sense. Instept, I would like to make a construct. Construct is made. So let's make a construct. And do this. Saga, go grab. Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle named Thopter Foundry. And then we go clearing, redraw off of a clearing. sure we'll cast a Memnite. Swing it to fairy, make them block with their construct, or make it so they just pop the spell bomb. One of the two. Yep, they just block with their 5/5. Sounds good. Pass the turn to them. Hope they don't have it. Yo, Co with the raid right as we're about to end. We're facing Jeskai Wurza and we're on Hammer. How'd your Abzan party go? I know you were doing something with Aluris at some point. So they play out second to Fairy. What up, what up? We were doing Tron stuff earlier, so... But we didn't do too hot, so... Finish 4-1 and then 3-2. Nice. That's pretty good. Bounces aid. Yes, Tron. Green Tron. We got destroyed by Eldrazi Tron. And that's the combo, right? Because this, yeah, cool. We're done. Not going to make them play it out there. They've got 9 minutes. Use command unraid, right? They've got 9 minutes there. They're not going to lose connection. So 2-3 with Hammer. Honestly, not necessarily bad for our first outing with the deck. A lot of the losses were because I played poorly or kept poorly, not because of how the deck is. Deck felt extremely powerful, and I just need to learn its lines a bit more if I want to pilot it in the future. Other than that, it's a fun list. There's a reason why it's sitting near the top right now. So if you want to pick it up, I highly recommend it.